Oh, hello there. Hey, I'm Zen. Uh, you're over there. How you doing? Good morning. I'd like to talk about a couple things. I think first and foremost, I'd like to talk about these videos that we see on the internet, where someone is just standing. They just put their face in another video or side by side with it. They do one of these. They go. Do they understand that they're not doing anything. They're not adding any value to the video. And in fact, when it's important information, like important, like here, let me show you what's going on. I'm gonna show you over here. I can do this because I'm adding value just by the sound of just me here. They put their dumb face on a video and go, look over here, look at this stuff. And there's literally nothing right there. It's just a fucking wall. And they actually somehow eliminate the quality of the video. They're deleting the quality of the video. And I get it. I get it. It's good information. They're showing you something really, really good. And it's like I watch the videos and afterwards, what is a residue, what is residualized in my mind is not even the information that they were explaining. They weren't explaining. They were just pointing at something. I fucking forgot it already. I can't even, I don't even know what the fuck there was. I don't even know what it is. All I know is that some stupid idiot put their dumb fucking face next to, hi, I'm selling this thing. I don't care about what you're selling or what it is. It's that you're an idiot and you need to stop doing that. You're destroying good content. You're making it less valuable. And if y'all just got here, I suggest go back to the beginning if you want to hear what I said. So we're gonna, yeah, adding value. And what was the rest of the title of the video that I just made here? Who knows? We'll just talk it out. Talk it out. Talk it out. Remember that song? Walk it out. Walk it out. Walk it out. Hmm. Adding value. I think that's a really, really important concept in the universe in general. You know what I mean? Like what are you doing? If you don't want to be here, just go. Go do it in another room. I don't know. Wait, tell me Junie is up in here. What's up, what was it? What was the rest of the Junie? What was the rest of the title of the video? Because I had another. I had three things running at the same time in my brain. So like I had three windows open. I forgot what the other one was. It was adding value, and what was the other? What was the title? See, this is how good I am at this. I can still, whilst not even remembering what I was going to talk about, I can get up at 8:30, drunk, hungover, and high and still make it entertaining at least add value to the situation. Oh, I have a guitar here that I have to get wood glue for. So if anybody wants to inspire me, uh, oh, we got comments over here. Who's up? What's up, Omar? Okay, you like some? You like opiates? Uh, I also do as well, but I don't know that I've done any opiates. Yes, thank you. You got me right back on track. Okay, so confectionery sugar, confectionery sugar. And I'll get to your question here in a second. But yeah, confectionery sugar. Okay. So if you guys don't realize, I live in New Orleans, and there's a place called Cafe du Monde. It means the Cafe du Monde means the world, so the Cafe of the world, and it's at the major most apex of New Orleans. Like this place has to make bank. Like I'm talking hand over fucking fist money. All they do is they do chicory, and coffee. That's like New Orleans thing, chicory. I don't necessarily prefer it. I just like straight coffee or hot chocolate, which I'm having right now. Hot chocolate and coffee. I take coffee and I put that in the hot chocolate mix. Anyways, so I don't. So I lived for a dozen years, and I've probably only had two or three times eaten a beignet. So it's confectionery sugar on top of this fried delectable thing. Like it's just so good, right? But it's so good, but I'm not like a pastry sweets kind of person. Last night, a bunch of us are hanging out, and for whatever reason, like I don't know why, but Seifel Sanchez. That's a Seifel. If you don't know who he is, he's been on my show before. He's down here. He goes and buys them. Like he was like, I want more, and he goes and buy. I was like, dude, my buddy right here works there. He'll just walk in and grab you some. Like, no. He's like, no, I just want the fucking hot fresh one. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So he goes, dude, eat one. And so I eat one, and my brain just went, whoa. I was like, I'm pretty certain the confectionery sugar is actually cocaine because I know plenty of different psychedelics and uppers and downers and everything in between. I've sampled much of the, and I pay attention to what it is. And I was on this is just a little fucking drunken sideways bender of a Sunday. Just what we do. We just fucking bug out and just have some drinks and talk shit and dance and I'm just chilling and I eat one of these fucking beignets and I guarantee you my brain just went whoop. It was cocaine. And he didn't go to the bathroom. He didn't have cocaine out. He didn't have any narcotics on him. He just went and got some fucking donuts, fried dough with powdered sugar. And I'm certain at this point in time that that was fucking cocaine. A lot of it too. Because afterwards, I was like licking my fingers, and I was like, "Why the fuck?" And I just started talking really fast. I was like, "What did you do?" Like, I mean, I'm not diabetic. I don't think. I think I would have already been dead. I don't. I fast. I don't. I eat vegetables sometimes. I eat meat. I don't eat sugar. I don't think I'm diabetic. But like, what the fuck? Glazed donuts. The only thing I can't eat glazed donuts because it. Hold on. Before we get to the glazed donut, does alcohol make you euphoric? Um, yeah. I mean, to me, to me, everything is a psychedelic, and most things make me somewhat towards euphoric. I mean, being being excessively sober, like if I don't do anything for a few days, and I'm like, that's euphoric. But um, you know, I mean, does everything take me to the level of dripping, uh, substance out of my pineal gland into my system? Does everything make me feel like MDMA? No, but I wouldn't want to be that way all the time. Serotonin, and if you're dripping serotonin, you're going to be depressed afterwards. I like a little bit, like just a little drip of, it's not like I don't like the sun to be at noon and be 110 degrees. I like it to be like little, just maybe coming through the trees, but 98 degrees. I don't mind 98 as long as I'm in the shade. You know what I'm saying? Like, does alcohol make me euphoric? This is I have here's my breakfast. You guys want to see something about me? Fucking bag of wine. Well, I got a bag of wine yesterday for myself to bring back and put in the fridge, and then everybody's like, "Hey, can I have some wine?" And I was like, "Oh, here we go." So I started just pouring out the bag because the box didn't fit in my bag. Anyway, so does it make me euphoric? It's just something to do. You have to when you read the book Siddhartha and you listen to the stories and the journey of the Buddha. What he came to glean about the world and realize was There's no way he can tell stories unless he experienced it. There's no way to be a Buddha unless you can collapse all of your reality out here into yourself. Like here's something that I've experienced, and then he grabbed onto it and he held onto it, and then he sat under the tree, and then he said, "Well, you know what? I'm supposed to actually go back out here and share those stories. I am supposed to experience the world and then share the stories. That's what it is. There's shit out there, and some days I'm gonna sit here and just fucking bug out and meditate in my own little peaceful silence and abode. Oh, here, let me show. I'll show you the thing. I'm gonna show you the thing. Check it out. Look at my hands. Take these two fingers right here. See these two? Well, there's two here. There's two here. It's like 20 years a piece. Take those and then wrap them inside. And then leave these two fingers, your pinky and your ring finger, out this way. You take your thumb, put it this way. Right? Here's the mudra. I'm showing you the mudra. I just learned this one the other day. I didn't know this. Okay. So breathe. Just leave your hands away. Now breathe. And I'm taking you backwards, inside out, upside down, and reverse, just to give you a technique here. Just breathe. Now notice as you're breathing in your nose or maybe in your mouth, the difficulty or the ease of breath. Now do this. Two fingers here, close them here, and then leave your pinky and your ring out and touch your thumb. Now breathe in your nose. Isn't that much easier? Watch, you can do it. Just test it. It opens up your fucking, this literally opens up this. Let it go. Closes it up. Just that. There's a little breathing technique for you today. What's up, Christos Lepoles? What are you doing? Fasting gives you euphoria. Yeah, I mean, most things do to me. I think for me, it's a complementary system. Complementary, meaning I could get drunk for 3 or 4 days, and I have a good time, but also being sober for the next 3 or 4 days, and doing that is equally as. But if I'm too sober all the time, then it's not euphoric anymore. I'm gonna say something that's gonna break your fucking noodle. It's gonna just if you don't do drugs, you're an addict to sobriety. Go ahead and put that on a fucking t-shirt. Do whatever the fuck you gotta do with that. Tell your fucking life coach that. If you need to be sober, meaning you don't touch a fucking thing, you're addicted to that. And you don't get to have a life experience. Because you're anti something. I'm not pro alcohol. I'm not pro weed. I'm not pro cocaine. I'm not pro any of this shit. I'm not even pro sobriety. But because I'm not anti any of it. See, that's the trick. That's the trick they put you into. I mean, do I like being sober? Like whatever you think sober is. I've been more sober than anybody you fucking know. How many people do you know that have not touched a food item or a sugar or a anything for 43 days? How many people do you know? You don't know me, but you would know, here, this is what you get. How many people could probably drink 40 days in a row? You can't really drink 40 days in a row. That's pretty bad. Then you're probably an addict. But if you can just find a place in the middle where you can pick up what you want when you want to, how you want to, then you look at things in the same light. This to me, this is wine, vino. It's no different to me than a fucking burger, than a vegetable. It's no different. I mean, the effects are slightly different. You're dealing with altering your consciousness. You're dealing with altering your mind. And by altering your consciousness and your mind, you change your path. So if I were drinking the same beer every day, I probably might do the same things. Now, if I just change it over to wine, then I'm going to do something different. And now if I just change it over to coffee, so consuming something, do you think caffeine isn't as like no one has ever said, my uncle was a caffeine addict. They don't say that. They said my uncle was a drunk and he was bad sometimes. Like, yeah, but what about your grandfather that or your grandmother that just drank fucking coffee and smoked cigarettes every day? You ain't gonna say shit about that, are you? Even though she beat the shit out you. But I guarantee you that nicotine and that in the tobacco product with all the chemicals that are in there, because there's many chemicals in cigarettes, and then that coffee with the beans that more sprayed, heavily chemicalized coffee and cigarettes. She was a fucking piece of shit, but everybody goes, "Oh, she was just old grandma. She was just doing what she needed to do." But the guy over here having a drink that some people just don't like because he speaks the truth. You see the fucking oddity of reality yet. You can't say shit about grandma, and my name is grandma. You can't talk shit at me. In fact, you can't talk shit at me because I'm way more better at talking shit than you are. I guarantee that. But you get what I'm saying? Like the level of um, it's arrogance in people's ignorance, and also this capacity to be hypocritical. The hypocrisy of someone that consumes the chemicals in that cupboard up there, chemicals in that coffee right there. There's chemicals in there, not only just from the bean, but then everything else they spray. There's chemicals in your white sugar. Then they put the milk that is for no reason not very good, and they smoke that fucking stogie. Now you go ahead and have some tobacco. That's fine. Again, I'm not hating on tobacco because I do love a good cigar. But then you get the cigarette, which is now sprayed with. They put so many chemicals in there. But that's okay. We accept that completely as a society, like across the board. He smokes. Uh, why? Why does that person smoke? What kind of anxiety? What kind of goof, right? But we're happy to fucking go. That person's that person's a bastard. He's an asshole. He drinks. But it's always the he. It's never nobody ever blames a woman for being drunk. Not another life lesson there. You don't see homeless women, and you never say you had the drunken uncle. Did you have a drunken aunt? No one ever says drunken auntie. We let the grandmother and the auntie slide by being pieces of shit. But the other, yeah, no, 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 no. But they're allowed to, right? Oh, look at this cool thing I got yesterday. See? Guys want to see this shit? That's a nice piece of copper jewelry. What's up, Branches? What are you doing? We are not designed to move or act based certainty that we will achieve a goal. We are designed to move or act in the certainty of being in the right frequency, instinct, feeling, in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, you get that part. That's a great way to say it too. Most people don't. They have let their brain override their actual commandment to self. Self is here I am. Are we enjoying this? Do you think an animal? I mean, we're so highly evolved. We have thumbs. We can do all sorts of things, like houses and things. Animals don't have anywhere to reside or sleep or anything. They don't create weapons of mass destruction. They don't do that. They don't have world wars. They don't have borders. What do you think? Do you think if there's a border between the United States and Canada, that an animal from there won't just walk over here if they wanted to? What would stop them? Somebody go, I gotta, you got a fucking moose. in Canada, and it just decides to like, hey, I'm gonna go south today. If it decided to, you can have a fucking Mountie like, I fucking uh you're gonna have to stop walking that way, Moose. Probably not gonna do that, right? But if as a human being wants to walk past that border from the United States to Canada, somebody like, you can't do that. You gotta, wait, I gotta do this. I got a badge. It says so. It's got 4 points. It's got 5 points on the star. I don't know what that means. Does this have a seven? Wait, Sharif's got how many? Wait, how many's on a Sharif versus a? And then we can go up the ladder. I got 360 points on my star. What the fuck are you talking about? Take me to your leader. And then we'll finally get back to, oh, I was telling you what to do because you are employed. Only because of me. You can go over there. You can go anywhere you want. Are you stuck here? You're not stuck here on a command post. You can go take your fucking badge off. Go ahead and wash your nuts off. Get off the fucking horse and walk over that way. You can do anything you want. It's pretty easy. Now that also guys, while we're at it here, you can give a thumbs up or a like, and you can subscribe. You might have to resubscribe after all of the shit that I talk. Um, the hit the bell thing to make sure that whenever I'm doing a show, it shows up. But that doesn't work. It hasn't worked for a long time. Maybe it will start to work. I will start to get a new, larger audience, and people will be yes, and you'll get notification bells. And also because the world does still work on money, which I never. I was flipping the fucking money changers tables over because I seen the fucking bullshittery that was occurring. I'm not good with usury, but it still works that way right now. So for me to maintain a roof over my head and be inside and have clothes and not look like a complete ostracized fucking a gutter snipe, for me not to look like that, it requires like take a shower once in a while and look reasonably handsome. So if you'd like to support that and make sure that I have enough money in the bank to pay a few bills, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo is right there, TsarXen. And then if you need any of my personal one-on-one assistance help, you can hit me on, there's my TheoLuminous at Gmail. Theo meaning God, Luminous meaning light. See? Oh, it's over here. That's me. You can holler at me. You don't gotta holler, you just say hello. Yeah, America, yeah. Rotating drugs and sobriety. Yeah, I mean, because sobriety is a drug. Yeah. Yeah. Whose joke? Well, here we go. People blame shit and on drugs and alcohol when it's the person that's the problem. Whose joke was that? They say alcohol is a personality enhancer, and so if you're an asshole, you're gonna be twice the asshole. Yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure. I hang out with enough people that are. I love their personality, and it's so great. And I know they have a tinge just on the of aggressiveness or just or whatever, and throw a little don't they call it fire water, throw a little on that, and it improves the other parts too. They're funnier, they're more ingratiated, they're more like gracious, and they're all about like, let's have some fun, but equal measure, if you step in front of them the wrong way and you say the wrong thing, they're equally going to be as funny and gracious and kind. You give somebody a couple shots, they're gonna become braver than they were. They're gonna be funnier than they used to be. They're gonna be, multiply that. That's a great thing. That's it. You're adding spirit. You're adding flame to the fire. I think it's hilarious. Some people can't. Some people. Who was it? This was it Hunter or was it Tom Waits that said drugs. They're talking about how you can't. Some people can't handle. Um, some people can't handle sobriety, and some people can't handle drugs. I forget. I'm trying to find the quote because I have two of them mixed up in my head. This is what happens when you have a very magical brain that just there's a bunch of different points I'm trying to make here. Yeah, drugs aren't for everyone. Alcohol isn't for everybody. Mushrooms aren't for everybody. Being the way that I am, and having taken people on guided tours of, say, something as insane as Salvia Divonium, the diviner sage. I used to do that by myself, which is not. I'm not telling anyone to go. Oh, do I have a package? Hold on. Salvia Divonium. It's called the diviner sage. If you can find it, go grow it yourself. That shit right there, it will show you what time looks like. I literally have it written on my knuckles. See that? See, my knuckles eat ink. I actually had tattoos on this knuckle, and these knuckles. My fucking hand ate the ink. Like my body ate the ink out of here. It's not there. It used to say, yep, it was red ink too. My body was like, nope. And it ate the black ink. I had this done twice. I had these done 5 times. Just eats it. But it says TIME. And it also says EMIT. Emit time. Time and emit. It's the same word. To emit time. It means to be a time lord. It means to be kind of governing Saturnian ideas. Because Saturn is the time god. Tells you when you'll come, when you'll go. He has a scythe. A scythe, like a sickle. Take Salvia Divonium and you'll understand how time works. It works in the same way where you'd say, I know I talk kind of like in riddles, but I'm explaining it as best as I can. Saturn is a time lord, controls time. So if I go to Hollywood, you'd say they're Saturnian, which you would think means the devil. It doesn't, because death to most people is evil, even though it's quite not. That'd be contrary. Death is hinged to life. You don't know what death is except for you were born out of death. So you know what it is. You just forgot. So Saturn, which controls Hollywood, shows you a film, and it goes, and it's just a bunch of pieces, snippets of fragments of time clipped together. Bang, 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 bang. And if I pull it fast enough and you look at all this, and then it looks like a moving picture. A moving picture. Now, if you take Salvia Divonium, you'll understand exactly how reality collapses and folds in onto itself every single moment of your existence. So if you start believing something new, that will become the new normal. So normalize love. Whatever you think that is. It doesn't have to be Job. It doesn't have to be It doesn't have to be Jupiter. It doesn't have to be Venus, Jupiter and Venus. It doesn't have to be that. But normalize what you think goodness to be. Normalize that rather than going, don't be fearful, because that's worrisome. Don't have that. Don't have hate. Whatever you think those things are. Remove those from your general everyday consciousness. And then when you start to replay the video and that first frame comes in, and that frame is your mindset, and you frame your mindset as love, wisdom, whatever as you want. You fill out this is your story. Do as you must. Do as you like to. What would you like to do? Well, I'd like to do this, but I can't. Don't do that. Don't do I can't. I don't want to hear that. If you're gonna say I can't, then I don't want to talk to you. Say I don't want to, that's perfectly fine. You can say I won't allow for this. You could do that, but don't do that shit. Just go. What do you want? Ellen Watts always said, you would have a very tough time talking to God, which, by the way, is you. You're God. It's not a male, it's not a female, it's just you. But you'd have a tough time because God would say, what do you want? And you say, well, I could tell you 50 things I don't want. And God's like, I didn't ask you for what you don't want. What do you want? You have so many things that you want. It's a gift that gives every day, every moment. You're not just waiting around for Santa Claus on December 25th. You're not waiting around for some sort of your birthday or some holy day, holiday. It's right now. Here it is. Have it. What do you want? Put that in your mind. Stop denying yourself reality. You can have anything you want. I promise you that. The universe provides, and I'll prove it once again to you in a bigger way. Walk out into nature anywhere and tell me if those animals aren't provided for. You can see animals everywhere. You go to your local park, see some cute little ducks. You can see some. You want to go see a bear? I mean, it might scare you. Scare a scary bear. Go out there, and they need not, they want not. They don't want a house. They like being out there. I know humans like this, but they're like when they come into the cityscape, they're still like obscenely provided for. What do you have to worry about? Junior, we got a major debunking mind war going on here. Yes, I debate. Who would have to debate here? Put anybody. Hey, you want somebody side? Here, I'll debate anybody right now. I don't care. I'll debunk the king of Spain because I'm from Constantinople. And also, I have this guitar. It's funny, my buddy. You guys know Sai, right? This dude broke his guitar the other day. I'm not sure how he broke it or why, or if it was like an accident or like an angry, like there's some dude that I knew from a long time ago. He goes, hey, can I, you want this guitar? I'll sell it to you for $5. And the neck is broken, but it's broken clean. And I was like, I could fix that with wood glue. And so I got it back here, took it apart, so the strings, the whole thing's good. So for if somebody wants to, can somebody buy me some wood glue and some wood putty and sandpaper? 3 things: wood glue, wood putty, sandpaper. When you repair something, so if you break a bone, I've broken my wrist, I've broken my forearm, I've broken a lot of parts of me. And if you repair that with just in your body, check it out. If you repair it, that will never break there again. It repairs stronger than it was before. And then I think it's called Kitsungun, Kitsungunji. Wait, I'm trying to say the word. Kitsuji. I think that's what it's called. So if you break a piece of pottery, what they'll do is they'll repair it with gold, and it becomes better than it was to begin with. So if I give you a piece of porcelain, if you use some pottery, some clay, just the cup, teapot, whatever, and it's a nice piece. Somebody designed it and built it, and beautiful. $10, and you drop it, but you love that thing, and then you go and take the scraps and you say, "How can we repair this?" And somebody's like, "I will mend that with gold." It is now of value much greater than it was prior. So this broken ass guitar sitting right here. I'll show you. You want to see it? There we go. So I got this for, and tell me I'm not gonna be able to fix this, and I don't believe you because I already fucking know woodworking. So check it out, broken right here, but it's fucking clean. It's clean. So when I put wood glue on here, you know, I'll explain it to you. You can look it up if you want to. I know this to be true. I've built houses. I've done things. I've studied this shit. If if you take two pieces of lumber, so this is why I was telling you about the other kintsuch. I was telling you about. I think that's the negative. If I take wood glue and I bind a piece of wood together, it's actually has a stronger. It's stronger than the rest of the wood. The wood glue made the fucking bond stronger, just like your bone. So once I put that back on there, and then I put a little wood putty on there, and then sand it down, and then we'll just, I don't know, fucking draw on it, paint it, color it. I don't know, $5 plus somebody here is going to donate a couple bucks. Just tell me, just remind me in the comments if you do give me $1 or $2 to fix this. I need wood glue, sandpaper, and wood putty. Wood glue and wood putty. Or no, water. Look. I know I said wood putty. Water putty. Water putty. It's a big jar. I'd be fucking clean. Anyways. Hey, yeah, I love how Juniper's. If you all know, Juniper's is that one there too. Yeah, base. Uh, she told me she's gonna take a poop. I don't know why you couldn't just tell the entire room. I think everybody knows we poop. I put you on blast there. Hopefully you're having a dookie, a good, solid, hefty dump. Mm. So what are we at here? 40 minutes. I've covered the major priorities of the day. What else? What else do I gotta accomplish for the day? I think that's it. I think now it's we'll call this a free for all. Anybody questions, comments, concerns, whimsical and wise insights into the universal construct, the codes of reality. Feel free. You can, and if you would like to, I'll give you the code to sit here side by side, and you can actually talk to my dumb face, like right here. This me here. I mean, it won't. I mean, you could sit here if you wanted, but if you want to, you could come live on screen with this gigantic retard. This is what retardation looks like. It is. It's pretty good, right? See, tards can accomplish a lot. I'm clinically insane, autistic, and undeniably beautiful. And I got a nice voice. I'm kind of sexy. You can come talk to me if you want to. The hilariousness doesn't stop. I don't, the shit show of my life is pretty undeniable, and it's awesome. And I think it's only due to the fact that I get to hang out with a bunch of fucking weirdos all the time. I find them to be completely like, yeah, it's just what you do. That's how you act. That's how you are. You're a perfect part and placement of this perfected reality that we call It's you're of course you're supposed to be there. Where if you were to let me try to explain something to you. If you were to take the people from New Orleans that live here and then disperse them amongst your cities and the places that you live, they would be the outcast. They would not look, you'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? And they would be like, where the hell am I? Why am I in fucking Vanillaville? Vanillaville. I've never said that ever in my life. Vanillaville. I like that. They'd be like, why am I here? And then you'd be like, what is this thing doing? Here, it's a collective of the most delightfully insane people you'll ever find, you'll ever come across in your life, without question. Everywhere else, they have one outsider, outcast, the thing over here. They go, that's just that fucking thing. Here, there's only a few of us that stand out amongst the crazies. Only a few of us, but the rest of the crazies, it's just crazy town. It's Storyville, like literally right there. You understand? New Orleans is called Storyville. Look up. There's actually literally like if somebody's like, "Where are you from?" Someone could say they're from Storyville, and it's on the map. Look it up. Just go to your Googles. Hit the thing. Look up Storyville. And the funniest thing, being from here, people do not exaggerate the stories. There's no exaggerated stories. Whatever the story is that someone told you from here, it's probably fucking true. Where you live, wherever you fucking think you're from, I guarantee the stories are blown out of proportion to a degree that you say, okay, there was a buddy of mine growing up that stole a cop car and shot the shotgun through the roof, and he was on fucking like he was on like psych meds and shit. He was not an okay guy. Maybe that just happened in your time. Maybe you got that one story. But on a day-to-day, most of the time when y'all telling stories, you go, oh yeah, last night's party was fucking wild. Somebody fucking pooped in the sink. Yeah, okay, it's Monday morning here. Okay, so he pooped in the sink, and then what? But every story down here, I don't care what the fuck you think is going on in your world, it's not here. And everything you heard is true. Everything about this place. It was Ron White's joke is like, if you heard, like most people like, somebody said that about me? It didn't happen. Ron White said, if you heard it, oh, I fucking did that, and probably and then some. Like it's like that. Yeah. It's crazy town everywhere. I think it's crazy town everywhere because people won't accept their craziness. So like standard, not the NIMBY culture, NIMBY not in my backyard. The standard protocol of white picket fence suburbia. You did, honey, if anybody's here and you're paying attention, honey, when you went to fucking Ruby Tuesdays and TGI Fridays, you got Tuesdays and Fridays, and you did all that shit and you got drunk at the bar. Yeah, I'm sure it was a good time, and yes, I probably have had relations with the waitress, or I probably smoked some weed in the back with the guy and the line chef and I know. It's just pals. Like you're just. It would be much nicer. You could actually go, holy shit, this is actually what it looks like. This is like New Orleans is essentially behind the scenes for fucking Hollywood. Like Louisiana, LA is the actual real Los Angeles, the real LA. Like everything Hollywood and LA is actually here. They only want to be like this city. So they had to film it over there. This is the real place. This is where like the behind the scenes. Like if you go behind the curtain, whatever's behind the curtain, behind the curtain. That's what happens here, and that's actually real too, because I've met so many people in the film industry like that. Like, oh yeah, yeah. I'm like, holy, and people like famous people, they just walk around like bump shoulders with them. You just don't know who they are. I mean, I know who they are, but yeah. So like the crazy parts of the world, the most I always run into like five cities. Houston, Houston. One of my best friends, uh, wildly out of nowhere, just became best friends. He's from H Town, uh, gang, like for real, for real. Uh, Atlanta, Houston, Atlanta, Chicago. Oh, well, Chicago is probably number one for me for like best friend in the world. But Houston, Atlanta as a general scope. I don't really know people. I mean, I've met many people from Atlanta, but there tends to be a Houston, Atlanta, Chicago, Philadelphia is always there. I never lived in Philadelphia. I lived in Baltimore. I love Baltimore. Some of my favorite comedians are from there. Best friends are from there, like in real person, like that I've hung out with and lived with. Baltimore, Philadelphia, Houston, Atlanta, Chicago. Those are about the five cities. Yeah, and then once in a while, some West Coast people, but San Diego, so San Diego. I come across a lot of people from come across come across the faces of these bags from fucking San Francisco. Yeah, yeah. What up, San Fran? That's yeah, I love people from San Francisco. I just never been, so I don't really know. But San Diego, yeah, the whole joke, jacking it in San Diego. Babe, what'd you say? Ley lines? Oh, ley lines? Go ahead and do this, y'all. Here, I have a page that you need to go look up. It's called. Go look up soul, the soul, Soul of America, and it's this dude. His name is his last name is Shampoo, spelled with it is shampoo. It's literally shampoo, but it's spelled CHAUMPAUX or something like this. And he did a whole thing on ley lines and why New Orleans is where it is. It's the end of the Nile River. Oh wait, the Mississippi is the Nile. It's people in over there in Egypt. This is the real Egypt. We're living at the end of the river. And if you look at the latitude and longitude, wouldn't it be weird that we're at literally the crossing of 3 and 9 is 3090. You can't just make that shit up. You can't just like this shit could be 25 by 72 or whatever. It could be. It just so happens the end of the fucking Mississippi, where New Orleans is the biggest port, like one of the biggest ports in the fucking world. And it just so happens to be at 30 degrees by 90 degrees. That's a pretty strong claim. And if you look at it, it actually connects to a bunch of other cities in the Northeast. If you just go that way, it will line up perfectly. The center of the city isn't. How could that possibly happen? Nobody could have mapped that out unless we're aliens. Hmm. I mean, look. I mean, you got DC, the Philly, the right there, up all the way. Where was it go? I think it goes over to Boston too. But yeah, ley lines. Yeah. What is hey Baze? What's your ley line there? Beans and cornbread. Come on, you can let people know beans and cornbread. Yo, if you okay, here I'll give you a recipe. Make some cornbread with hominy grits, right? So you got the thick and the thin, and then jalapeno and honey. So the recipe is basically you make it normal wise, but you add a little bit of little, little bits and pieces of jalapenos, and then when you finish it with honey on top, and then cut up fresh jalapenos. So you got the baked in there, so it gives a little warmth, not a lot inside, and it will give a nice bright little green. And then you could make it Christmas like and put red, like so you'd have. You could use bell peppers, the sweet with the honey, bell pepper. That's Christmas cornbread. And you'll poop real good. Okay, Mace, we got to get back to this last one you said here. They threw me, and then you into public. What were you getting at there? Are you am I missing into the Publix? Oh, public sucks. I mean, as a general rule, we were talking about this the other day. The 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 public versus private citizen versus. Okay, I go a little deeper on that if you want me to. So there's sovereign beings, and then there's public and private trusts, entities. There's funds. There's the cat over there that has $1 million. You're like, why does he do nothing? Because he has a trust fund, baby. Now everyone should be a trust fund, baby. Really, I probably am. I should be. Where's my fucking money? I do too much. I do too much for people. I do. Like I do so much that I fucking have to go. I have to actually worry sometimes. Worry is not a good thing. It stresses me out. It gave me somebody asked me why do I have they're like, why do you look so good but you have one gray hair? It's like, well, I was a little stressed for a little bit, man. I get worried about other people. That's a strange thing. You ever feel that way? Like I have less concern for myself in most ways. I have more concern for everybody else. Like I would just, it's that's my only tension in life is to make sure everybody else is okay. Because you know why? Because have you ever felt pain? Yeah, it sucks. You don't want anybody else to feel that. It's terrible. So, but I still want to try to evaluate what you're saying here into public, and you put it in capitis diminutus. You put it all caps for a reason. You don't normally do that, so I'm trying to read into it. So maybe you can elucidate. Skull. Hey yo, Rocky. What are you doing, yo? What you doing, yo? So luckily, I woke up. I mean, for you guys, I could have happily died at any point in time. I like having feelings and emotions going through the risky business. It's funny. Remember that movie, Risky Business? Anybody remember that? Like I could have happily slept forever. Yeah. I just here's how almost Jewish I am. I wouldn't die because I don't want to have someone come here and clean up my fucking dead body. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not the kind of person to kill myself. I'm not the kind of person to harm anything. Puppies love me. Ducks eat out of my hand. Swans eat out of my hand. I hug things. I like nature. I like things. Like I have no problem with the world. But I'm so harmless to people that I wouldn't even want to die right here because somebody would have to come and like I would make their day worse. They'd be like, "Oh, look at this fucking guy. Why is he dead? They would have like enshrouded me like fucking Jesus or something. Like Jesus died, and I'm like, uh, DNR, do not resuscitate, but also give me 72 hours because I might just come out the tomb and be like, I told you, motherfuckers, don't touch my dead body. It's not dead. I was just sleeping for a little while. Let me take a nap. 72 hours. Let me sleep for 3 days. Sounds like that sounds, yeah. 3 days of sleep, wake up, and it's a fucking another junction points of reality. 29 by 95. I don't know, Ron White reference. Oh yeah. And, okay, I got you. I was watching one of his specials the other day. Yeah, it's called. Well, it wasn't Call Me Tater Salad. It wasn't that special. It was a different one. Yeah, Ron White is up there in like heroically good comedy. He's he's like less known, but just as much of a fucking he's a I don't know why I want to use the word ostrich. He's sort of like George Carlin. He has a different temperament, like his, but they have the same. They come to the same conclusions. I think those two. Now I got to figure this shit out. Anybody know that George Carlin and Ron White ever hang out? That would have been a great talk to listen to. If somebody could make that happen, and even as a facsimile that we take them to like in an interview and like looks like they're talking, that'd be great. So go ahead and do your best on the internet with that shit. I mean, I'm not gonna believe it, but because it'd already be in there if they had a conversation. But Ron White and George Carlin, yeah, that'd be a good, yeah. Did anybody see that? Did anybody see Richard? I think it was Richard Pryor and George Carlin. I think they did an interview on the Cabot show. Yeah, I think it was that. Yeah. It could have been again with all the technology that is available on here on this thing here. You could make. I seen a video the other day. It was a tiny little person dancing, but they put Kanye's face and morphed the voice of the person talking into Kanye's, and it was believable to the degree that if you didn't know Kanye existed, if you didn't know that technology existed, you'd be like, that's a fucking weird looking baby talking like that. What are they doing? Anyways, what are we getting to next? 1 hour, 1 hour show. Most people make about, I would say most people make about $35 to $50 an hour. Maybe some people here make 100. I know people that make about 150 an hour. I'm not even. This is not even a struggle. It's just kind of funny that I do an hour worth of work, and this is hard goddamn work. Could you imagine? Could you imagine this off the top? I got no fucking notes. I got no cue man. I got no fucking nobody holding the fucking screen, and I'm making $1.50 an hour. $1.50 an hour? That's not. I do not accept that. I'm making $100 every time I talk. Easy. Fucking when I was 23 years old, 23, 22, 22 years old, I was making 50, 50, non-taxable an hour. And now, 43 years old, and I'm making barely enough to survive. No wonder I drink so much. Come on, this is like I think this is my I have to take care of all my children, so it kind of I have so much work to do. I have to work on myself. I have to help you. It's a whole thing. It's a whole process. Like I was like, here's a little humbling reminder. It's humbling in the sense that most people want to help everyone else. Most people are not in the position to help others. You don't have your own shit together. You don't have, because my mind is so fucking bright, because I'm not gonna, I'm full bright scholarship, because I'm so this, I can give that to you. But I don't have money to give to you. I have enough that I can buy a motherfucker a beer. I have enough, just enough. But if you have a lot of money, give that shit to me. I know what to do with it. I'm better. I'm almost a financier for people. Did he say financier? Yeah, like I can have any money. What the fuck do you think I'm gonna do? You think I'm just gonna? You think I'm not gonna give a crack at $50. I'll give him $1. Not gonna change. That's not gonna change. I'm not gonna. But I know what I'm doing with money. I know what I'm doing with like. I'm not gonna go buy extravagant things. I'm not gonna go like, hey, I'm gonna fucking snort fucking 50 lines of cocaine tonight. That's not it. I could probably make your money work for you more better than most of the people on Wall Street. I build empires. What do you think I've been doing? It's been a while. Welcome back to Earth. The immortals, yeah. That is the strangest, most outlandish thing about comprehending your immortality is the association with vampires. And because if someone says it's a vampire, it means they want I need your blood, want your money, they need your energy. I already know how to create a vortex of energy. I already know, like, Shivambu. Like, I don't need anything else. It's just nice to have. I mean, do I want to live in this place? No. I mean, I should probably upgrade my domicile. You realize, here's a story that I hope you can comprehend. That to me, there's something, there's some resonating, you have key points in your life, right? You can't tell me what you did 4 days ago. You can't tell me why Tuesday in February of 2001 was important. You have no clue. You have no clue about most parts of your life, but you have these little stories that you tell yourself, or things that you were almost out of body for, that you watched occur from a different direction, that when you're telling the story, you actually weren't in your body, or something that was so, I experienced or saw this or something. And for me, it's this. I'm gonna tell you what it is. And this is a fact. And I'm gonna tell you why I live in New Orleans. I'm gonna tell you why the originals. I'm gonna tell you why I'm hybrid. I'm gonna tell you there's something that I didn't know, and it all became fucking glaringly obvious to me. When I was a child, I was adopted, which either means 626, 626. I was built in a laboratory, and I came out of a fucking, which is a possibility, or I was stolen, or my mother couldn't take care of me, or whatever. I don't know. I died, and it's up for debate. It's fun. It's fun in my mind. I do it once in a while, maybe twice every decade. It doesn't really bother me. So the family that apparently, well, I wouldn't call them family because I don't think they're human. I find them reprehensible at best. Because my family would never do this to me. But anyway, so these people fucking bought me. And there's one picture. See, I like to tell a very elaborate story because I like to paint a larger. See, check it out. I'm taking these white walls and turning into a shiny, glimmering splendor of magnificence. It's a painting just with words that I use. My tongue is a fucking sword. It's a paintbrush. So they took a picture of me. They dressed me up for Halloween when I was probably, I'm gonna go with 8 years old. I can't tell you. I don't know. But the image is in my eyes. Like I know it because they took a picture of me and they dressed me up as a vampire. I have a widow's peak and I have two very long incisors. They took a picture of me. They dressed me up as that. I don't know. They're like, hey, let's dress him up as a fucking. They said Eddie Munster. Let's dress him up as a vampire. I was like, wow, you guys are really going at it here. Like that seems like really a fucking weird thing to do to a child. Okay, but now it sits in my memory banks as this. I do have a widow's peak. This is not why I do this. I just cover up my pineal gland because I'm not going to third eye everybody. And the first time I went to see a dentist, I got my incisors. I was like, can you shave these down? They're like, hey, what's going on? What do you need? You got a cavity? You got something? Like, no, can you just shave these bitches down? That's a real thing. So, um, vampire up there. Now, the town that I was born in apparently is the same town that I live in. Like, I mean, it's the town that I lived in was next to the county that I was born in. I now live in the town next to the same exact name as where I was born, but at the other end. So I was from the Finger Lakes, and now I live at the end of the Mississippi in the swamp almost. And there's the lake that goes it goes the river. The river goes all the way up there. Really weird shit. And here, so I tell a very fucking deliciously fantastical story. In New Orleans, there's a show, and I highly suggest you check it out. It was all filmed in Atlanta though, because I'm from here. I know they filmed it in Atlanta because it was cheaper, but the screenshots of like in between, like they're like, hey, welcome, they're walking around doing this. It's called The Originals. It's about the original vampires, the Vampire Society. It's very heavily, and then you have the magicians, the witches, the warlocks, magicians, and you got the werewolves. The werewolves are from the West Bank. They're next to the swamps. That's where they have to live. It's real shit. And then in here you have witches, you have vampires, and there's only a few there's like in the show there's one hybrid, most powerful being on the planet. And if you knew what, every time I've asked people, have you seen the show? I was like, who do I remind you of? I'll tell you. I don't even tell you this. I'll tell you. His name is Klaus. For real? I can't. I'm not that character, but also pretty much so. I'm not as vile as he is, and contemptuous. But in a lot, I'm like he's red haired and blue eyed and shit. I'm not a red haired blue eyed. I have melanin in me a lot. If you can't tell, you realize melanin can come out. So as a being of light, If we collect a lot of energy, we become darker in our eyes. It's called melanin. It's your neurology too. If you stare into the sunshine, it doesn't just come out in your skin. Okay, it doesn't come out in your skin all the time. Some people can be very highly melanated in their brain. Your brain chemistry becomes the vortex of why my hair is dark, and my beard is dark, and my eyes are dark. I don't have to put it through my skin for you to understand. For people that know, so it's melanin the nourishment of the sun doesn't necessarily have to be on your skin. So you could find white boys with red hair and blue eyes that have knowledge. Klaus Barble? Did you say what? What did you say? Klaus Barble? What? Wait, I missed so many. I missed so many comments here. Hey, you got Ron Too Poopy. Good job with Ron Too Poopy. Here, just so you can see Ron Too. Yeah, well, see, that's why I don't use it. Hey, Skull, that's why I don't use it too often. The Shivamu. I mean, if I want to, like right now, I'll go. I don't care. I'll go piss in a cup and drink it. But it's like when I first started explaining this to people, and I never wanted my channel to be about that exclusively, or nor the shape of the earth or whatever. That's why I can't do that. Like I'm just like I put it out there. You know it. You know that I'm gonna say this, but I'm gonna leave it over here. But yeah, the Shivam is the same thing. Shivam, like if I was gonna do that every day, all the time, like I don't how fucking far back do you want me to go? Like how much younger do you want me to be? I'm supposed to be like a fucking old head, you know? Like I get it. Yeah, internet army of Google scholars trying to debunk Shivamu. Here's why they can't do that. Start at the beginning. How does the body work, you cock maniacs? You're like, how's the body work? Well, you don't even fucking know how the body works. But I'll tell you this much. If I put something into my system, why the fuck can I eat all this food and digest it through my wait, just for all you vegans out there, you have acid in your stomach. And the more alkaline, vegan plastic you put in your body, you're gonna have to digest that too. And you're gonna have to digest me because I'm the fucking hottest acid you've ever even considered. Like, watch. So I consume this, and it goes through the system that is going to boil through acid and break down anything. But if you put more alkaline, it's going to make your body work harder. That's why you're going to become slimmer. See? So if I put something in my body that shouldn't be there, like a lot of alkaline, my body is going to have to produce more acid to counterbalance homeostasis to make sure that we can process that food so I can shit it out. And any juice, any liquid that comes out will go through a process through my kidneys. And my kidneys will then wring out almost like a centrifuge. And it'll pull the blood apart into two distinct things called, there's this yellow part here. What's that called? It's called plasma ultrafiltrate. That's the yellow part. It's urea and goodness. We've in through a vortex. And then we have urea, plasma, ultrafiltrate. That's what your kidneys do. They just do it this way. Your kidneys squeeze it. Now I'm centrifuging it. And then it comes out of your body. In the back, you put the stinky, weird, smelly, poopy object. That's the red part that the centrifuge decided There's weights and balances and measures to things. Here's the goodness down here. It's golden elixir of life. And then up here you have poopy garbage, red, blue, black bullshit. Like whatever the fuck it is. Like I don't care the color. It goes that way. Heavy, dense material gets out the way if you have centrifugal and centrifugal forces. One is inside and one is outside, right? No matter right here, no matter in this story, but it's to give you a point to understand that urine. What are you gonna do? Who's drinking piss? No, it's a bag of fucking Franzia, you cocksuckers. But what do you think? Why do you think that you piss out the fucking front of you? Thank you. And you shit out the back. That stinks. You don't eat shit. When you piss, it's right in front of you. And it's gold. Go look at a goddamn statue of this little boy peeing. There's a statue of a little boy peeing and you're staring at it, you fucking creep. You fucking weirdo, you fucking moron. Oh, there's a kid urinating. And it goes into the fountain of youth. And it goes and recycles through him. And every movie you watch, there's two people standing there urinating into a fountain, and they become younger or switch bodies. It's a fact. Go watch the movie. You think I'm lying to you? You hate Hollywood, but you know they know something. So, piss might be the fountain of youth. That's what I'm getting at here. I had a really long story to tell there, but peace out, yo. Oh yeah, I was debunk. You can't debunk what I'm saying. I don't. Oh, you okay, Rhino? Skull, you know, okay, Rhino? Yeah. Yep, I know. I'm not exceptionally familiar with his album or any of his, but I know of him, and he's good. He's but I know that Skull. What do you mean, Klaus Barbie? No, Klaus is from New Orleans. He's like the hybrid fucking vampire werewolf. And it's funny because vampires, for some reason, in these books, hold on, uh, aren't allowed to do magic, but maybe because I know magic and I didn't realize it was a vampire, fuck things up. So I'm also a werewolf. So like a trifecta god, a vampire, a werewolf, and a magician. Doesn't it make sense now? Just letting you know. I don't think so. You can't be mad at that. I'm not trying to. I can walk into any. That's always the thing. I can walk anywhere I want, and it doesn't. No one ever is like, oh, what up? Because I don't. Because I show respect. You know, if you show respect to someone to somewhere, what you do, you can walk through the fucking. You can walk through a goddamn world war with the fucking with the armor of God on. Isn't it weird that you say God and it's also God, like gaudy? Why are you so gaudy? Of course I'm fucking gaudy. All right, what are we getting to here? Somebody fucking continue the conversation here. I can't. I'm not gonna lead the prairie horses to the doggies and the dumpsters and the fucking dumpster fire babies. Like I don't fucking know. See, I just say words just to fill the space. Or we can do this again. Take your hands like this. Here. And again, I'll show you again. Anybody new here? Check it out. This is really awesome stuff. Take these two fingers, stick them in there, and stick these out here. Try that. Are breathing? Now flip it around and do it this way. Now flip it around and do it this way. Now flip it around and do it this way. You should masturbate yourself. Play with your own fingers. But if you could figure it out, you could if you breathe first, Spirituality is breath, and spirituality also comes in this cup. And no one's coming in this cup except for your fucking grandmother. Your dead grandmother is gonna come in this cup. Now, here's a question I have. How often did your grandmother come? That's what. Has she come since she's been dead? Because I can't tell because I'm just fucking her dead body right now. Because I think it's funny, and also it's warm. There's a lot of worms in there, so it's like a wormwood. So if you fuck a dead grandmother, what are you doing? Just say anything. I like. This is what I love about the freedom of authentic expression and free. Like this, I'm not even visualizing. I was just saying words. That's a really gross thing. Whatever I just said is really gross. I get it. And the only people who would be offended by that are people that have actually fucked someone's dead grandmother in a grave. Like, walk down the street with me and unearth a body and take it's a milky, soppy fucking those worms and grotesque things, but it's like, hey, you stick your dick in that? That's morbid. This is morbid humor. Greg, morbid granny gangbangs. Oh no. Have I just done this? Have I opened up a new portal to insanity? So now there's gonna be like, what did people research on the internet today? Well, fucking people that died in 1982 and their body is still kind of rotting flesh, amoebas, flesh-eating bacterias, and because this fucking fat, contemptuous cocksucker that only loves to watch Asian cartoon porn decided he's gonna figure out magic because he learned magic on the internet while watching the creepiest of creepy porn, and then goes and unearths the body and just fucks it because he could find maybe like because he desires death, but he could. You understand the psychology here? I don't know. Maybe this is too high level, but that's what happens when you disassociate people, when you isolate people, disassociate them from reality. You isolate them into a little domicile, and they got the TV right there, and they got the PlayStation and all the shit they do. They won't leave the house, and they become so isolated they don't even know what fucking real human beings look, smell, or taste like. And because they don't know that, when they go out there into the real public world and try to interact and navigate through this shit, they can't do it. So what they do, they go right to the graveyard and they fuck your grandmother. That's what they do. It's just a story. So apparently I'm supposed to get some groceries dropped here. They'll be down at the door, but they would be out there. So I'll remind you guys this. Give me 15 minutes so I can take a shit and wash my face off because I just woke up. And here's the happy AM 1.5 hours of me doing this. Just because I promised y'all I'd do a show this morning. This is what you get, an hour and a half, and I'm still coherent and I'm comprehensive. I've covered all the four corners of the universe, and if you want to, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, blah, blah, blah. It's right there on the bottom. And if you want to realize I've been doing this for a fucking long time, probably 10,000 years, but there's also a way to, if you want to, instead of listening to me talk, or you don't want to look at me, you want to just read, I have writings from, I think, early 2012. I think right in the Mayan calendar. Fucking, that's so funny. It's on my WordPress. Did the world end and that's when I started writing, or the world begun and I started writing? So that's right about 2012. So I've been doing this for quite a long time. Go enjoy that. And if you want to, and want to make sure that I have a roof and I can still plug this fucking phone in with this, I still have a cord. Still, this is just a tiny little telephone. Uh, a telephone. Well, fucking kind of. He called it a telephone. Oh, it's a cell phone, dude. Cellular towers out in outer space. Ain't no fucking cell phones in outer space, you retards. Shut the fuck up. I'm out of here. It's good to see y'all. And remember, there's 3 rules for life, and it's be yourself, be weird, be outstandingly ruthless. Everybody else is already taken. You're you, and make sure you have enough of yourself. Self-support system. Take care of yourself, and when you feel like you have enough, uh, hand over some of your money. Put it into one of my accounts. And if you can't do it for me, and you only have dollar bills, give it to one of those other strange homeless people or something. But you know, I love you. I love you too, guys. And I'm gonna be back on here in a little bit. I just gotta shit and check and see if I got groceries delivered. I don't know. Weird stuff. Weird days. Hopefully you're enjoying it. I'll be back. Bye, guys.